Yeah, brother.
I get the crowd one. That's when I don't
So the Guyanese Critic is coming to you from what is known as the new sluice here, from the Little Diamond area, just the back of the Little Diamond community. This here leads out to the Demerara River. This is actually the Demerara River you're seeing here, and this is the sluice. And it is somewhere around this area that this dam recently broke away and flooded all of those houses. You could see a house there. They got a little wet spot at the bottom of the concrete. Well, all these areas, these homes here, a lot of homes back that way and so on would have been flooded as a result of the breach here. And the Minister of Agriculture, who most drainage and irrigation, whose ministry under which a lot of the drainage and irrigation come under, due to NDIA, the National Drainage and Irrigation Agency, being under the Ministry of Agriculture. So the minister is here back again and doing a follow-up with what's been going on or what the contractor has been doing. I'm going to talk to the minister and have him give you an update as to what really transpired here. Again, what let's hear some of the discussions the ministers are having with engineers and tuned into the Guyanese Critic. I'm coming to you from Black Diamond, Little Diamond, the east bank of Demerara, where a breach of this dam here recently happened, flooding these homes, a lot of these homes around here. The Minister of Agriculture is back on the ground doing a follow-up with staff and contractors. Some of the engineering staff are explaining to the minister that tide would have caused water to come over the dam. But this is a project that is actually a continuing project. So one has to ask oneself, weren't considerations taken into that when the contractor took on the project? I don't know who the contractor is, but I'm hoping through the minister's update we get clear answers as to what exactly transpired here and what is being done to ensure it does not happen again. So I'm going to be asking the ministers about the contractor who is responsible for the breach that recently happened, and what does the ministry plan to do? How much more of a cost this would be to taxpayers? These are some of the questions I will be asking the minister as it relates to what happened here. Because little as the regular citizen does not know, consecutive governments have been spending billions of dollars on sea defense and different kinds of projects that sometimes poor oversight cause these things, because already a cost has been affixed to the coffers for this contract, and then it happens now that they have a breach and there's an added cost to the taxpayers, right? So let me, Minister, could you I know you're doing a follow-up on this recent breach. Could you help us out with a better understanding as to what, firstly, what really occurred, just to remind the viewers, and then what is the ministry doing presently as it relates to this follow-up, how it's going?
So first of all, I want to say, as you rightly said, this is a follow-up. When we came yesterday, I saw the people them who were underwater. Although we have the tide receded, but what we had a serious breach here yesterday. Sunday we had a minor one, and if the contractor would have taken all the precaution, then that breach yesterday would have been avoided. But it happened, and I was very disappointed, because for me it was the negligence of the operator and the contractor that caused this. Because this contract here signed since 2017, and this contract has been going on long and long and long. I had to have cause to call in the contractor and give them a final date to complete this sluice and complete these work, and they made of me, because I see the kind of way they were working. They were working very lackadaisical, they were working very slow, and I just this morning only, I instructed our PS to write the National Procurement and Tendering Administration, informing them that the ministry would not like again to do work with these type of contractors, so that who are doing work and doing it at their own pace and causing us to get the bad name and causing residents to suffer. So I am very careful to ensure that we have contractors who are more responsive and who will do the work according to the specification and do the work in the time frame that is allocated for that work to be done. This contract, as I said, since 2017, this is unacceptable. This year now is 2021. So I'm hoping that this will never ever again occur within the Ministry of Agriculture as long as I am Minister. I will ensure that I have a hands-on approach and have a report on all the contracts. As a matter of fact, I have had a meeting today with all the senior officers in NDIA and the PS, and I have asked that a report be prepared so I can submit to Cabinet and the President about what occurred here and why this contract took so long to be completed. So I am hoping to receive that report from the consultant and our technical officer by tomorrow morning. But as I said, this is unacceptable. Still, I am still pleading that the residents should be compensated by the contractor. And I am hoping that we can use some legal framework, because we still have some sum in the contract, so that we can help the residents suffer tremendously, and I am hoping that they can get some forms of compensation. In terms of livestock, from the GLDA level, I will see what I can do to see how we can help some of the residents who have suffered livestock losses and things like that. But those household appliances, very expensive household appliances, I think that the residents need somebody to compensate them. And if anybody should compensate them, it's the contractor. I'm hoping that we can have some of that sum be allocated for the compensation. So as it stands here now, we are seeing that the work that was supposed to be done earlier is being done now, after that disaster that took place. I am pleased that we have now a number of persons on site, and I am hoping that this here will complete the work. As a matter of fact, I asked that our technical officers today that the final set of work should not last more than 2 weeks. By the mid of May, the entire operation should be in place here. That means the operation of the sluice and all the revetment, all the gabion basket, and all the dams should be in place, and this sluice should be operable and keep running. And I want to assure the residents that this here will not reoccur, and I will try my best to see what I can do to resolve this problem.
Ensure that they get some sort of compensation.
Well, as I'm saying, I am still, because Minister Edgehill would have mooted that idea, and I supported him, and I said that the contractor negligent, because of the contractor negligent, he should compensate the residents. 114 houses were affected. And I said that the NDC with the CDC did a survey, and they will. I will be looking at the report that they will be submitting and see what we can do and how we can influence that part of the system to take its course.
Minister, is there anything in place, or you have put in place, to ensure that the completion of this job is done within a manner, so when the contractor don't leave, let me see, just throw down some stuff and do a slapdash job like it is obvious has been going on, to ensure that the proper job is done, that when the contractor leaves, you don't have any such reoccurrence?
So we have, first of all, we have our technical officer here, will be on a 24-hour basis. We have the consultant who have now re-engaged back, and he's here, the consultant is here. And our senior engineers are here, the NDIH CEO is here, and the chairman of NDIH will be paying special emphasis on this project so that we can have a proper completion. We'll have work done to specification, so that at the end of it, we'll have proper work done.
I know this is a project that is coming all the way from 2017, you said, Minister. Do you think it would be fair for your ministry or government in general, whichever ministry, to do an assessment of the works done and to check these kind of things to make sure the structure has been done in accordance with the regulations? Because of the fact you see a lackadaisicalness with certain parts of the contract, do you think there have been any other hindrances that we should start investigating and looking at?
That will be in the report that I asked for both the consultant and our technical officer to ensure that the spec were carried out in terms of the specification of the project and all other aspects of it. So I'm hoping to receive that comprehensive report by tomorrow. And what you just asked for, I have asked this morning, so that will be in the report. Hopefully I can get it and ensure that the specification for this project will abide by the contractor.
Minister, I want to thank you, and I'm hoping your input sees that the residents get some form of compensation. Thank you again. So you would have just heard from Minister in the Ministry of the Minister of Agriculture, as a matter of fact, on this ongoing project, and some 100 odd homes could be reassured that the ministry is looking at them getting some form of compensation from the errant contractor.